I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us this evening. If you could just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role within the film.
My name is Gabby Wong and I'm an actress, and I'm very excited to see this film because it's from a Chinese director and I'm going to be hearing my own language.
And why do you think it's so important for stories like this to be told, particularly highlighting the subject of dyslexia?
I think dyslexia is something that we kind of expect it to be introduced in the mainstream, but it's not quite integrated enough, and it needs to be integrated enough in the education system to level up everyone's opportunities. So it's really important to have a film like this out there and talk about the human side of the struggles.
And what do you think the power is of art, of cinema, film, to be able to kind of find a way into these stories and allow people to have empathy and a greater understanding than perhaps reading newspaper headlines and stories is?
I think the power of art and film in itself, where it really gets to the core of the human condition. So crying about something and laughing about something, it really, really connects to the issue. So it's not just about the law, the society, it's all about the people behind it, because it affects real lives.
And of course, written, directed by Anne. What's the importance of having female-led stories, but also female storytellers?
I think it's time we take the space, isn't it? We all have to take our own space, and it's so exciting to have so many female directors on the scene, and it's actually level playing field for everybody.
And of course, having representation on screen in terms of people from China, Chinese heritage, maybe we also haven't seen enough of that on screen before. Do you feel that that's changing, and films like this are like pushing the needle a little bit?
I think there's definitely a shift. It's wonderful to see people who look like me on screen, and I hope that my presence in the film industry is going to be something that gives an impetus for the next generation to also take up their own spaces as well.
And tell us a bit about some of the highlights of your career so far and what we can see you in at the moment.
I'm going to be, I have a Netflix series coming out in about a month's time called 1899, and it features an ensemble cast of multinationals, everyone from around the globe, so it's very exciting.
And can you tell us a bit about what's your role within that? Who do you play?
I am a Chinese woman stuck on a steamship in first class, but whether I belong there or not is a different story.
Do you think in particular the streaming platforms like Netflix are kind of opening up a bit more space than perhaps it could feel a bit of an exclusive club? But we're seeing now stories from all over the world in different languages, not just English, and there's kind of a positive step forward maybe.
Absolutely, it's kind of widened the pool a lot more. The streaming services, people may not be, especially during the pandemic, people weren't able to go out and see films or entertainment or anything like that. So when they're able to reach out to the world at home, it's a wonderful thing. So yeah, streaming platforms is something here to stay.
And in terms of the future, where have you got your eyes set? Do you have a particular director you'd love to work with, or a genre you'd like to film in?
I'd love to do some comedy. I think we all need some comedy after the last few years, isn't it? I'm quite funny sometimes, I think. I'd love to do some comedy. I really enjoyed John Watts' or the Spider-Man film, because it was just so joyous, but also a superhero film. It's wonderful.
Fantastic. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you. Really enjoy the evening. Thanks so much.